Look at that. Of course, I gotta work to remember to bring out the AENT. It is pretty. And it does lend itself to carving or inscription or chiseling. So this is the Aramaic, and that's English. So when I say God carves every flame of the fire, that's what that word means. That he chisels it. And I went and I looked up Psalm 29:7. And it's the shout of the Lord carves every flame of the fire. I don't know if the word shout means that he's putting some effort into it. Because, you're like, oh, God's omnipotent. Or it's like, whoa, God's omnipotent. Because apparently sometimes he shouts. I don't know. If you know, you tell me. Alright, we're at 2 minutes. So, 1 Corinthians 10 in the AENT. And it says, and, my brothers, and I'm gonna share with you this note 42. This mode of address here is rather peculiar. Paul most definitely views like-minded believers of the Gentiles as spiritual brothers. He refers to his brothers 29 times in this epistle. But the phrase after that, our fathers, adds another very beautiful element of unity within the body. Those being described as fathers refers to those under Moses, most certainly not ancestors of pagans who live in Asia Minor. Either Paul is addressing those of the tribes of Israel here, who were dispersed among the nations. Wow, so glad that I picked it up here. Or he's recalling Exodus 12:38, which refers to the mixed racial multitude who went up with Israel out of Egypt. Either way, Paul is clearly calling Gentiles not just out of paganism, but back to their original heritage as those who received Torah and are Torah keepers. Paul is decisively putting all who read this letter on that same road out of Egypt and on toward Mount Sinai to vicariously behold and experience the presence, who wrote his commandments into the spiritual rock. Ah! And that rock was the Messiah, the only Messiah. Ah. Oh, that's an interesting little thing right there. So, perhaps this is a little different, and I'm glad that I'm hitting this right now. Alright, so pay attention, you Jews. They're Messianic Jews at that. And my brothers, I would have you know that our fathers were all of them under the cloud, and they passed through the sea. And they were all immersed by Moses in the cloud and in the sea. And they all ate the same spiritual food, And they all drank the same spiritual drink, for they drank from the spiritual rock that attended them, and that rock was the only Messiah. But with the multitude of them, Elohim was not well pleased, for they fell in the wilderness. Now these things were an example for us, so that we should not covet after evil things as they coveted. Neither should we serve idols, as some of them served. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Neither let us commit sexual sin, as some of them committed, and there fell in one day 23,000. Neither let us tempt the Messiah, as some of them tempted, and serpents destroyed them. Please see my working on that word from that particular passage. Neither should you complain, as some of them complained, and they perished by the destroyer. All these things which befell them were an example to us, and they are written for our instruction, on whom the end of the world is come. And so let him who thinks he stands beware, or else he may fall. No trial comes upon you but what pertains to men, and Elohim is faithful, who will not permit you to be tried beyond your ability, but will make an issue to your trial, that you may be able to sustain it. Therefore, my beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak as to the wise. You judge what I say. The cup of thanksgiving which we bless, is it not the fellowship of the blood of the Messiah? And the bread which we break, is it not the fellowship of the body of the Messiah? As therefore that bread is one, so we are all one body. For we all take to ourselves from that one bread. Behold the Israel who are in the flesh. Are not they who eat the victims participators of the altar? What then do I say? That an idol is anything? Or that an idol sacrifices anything? No. But that what the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to demons, and not to Elohim. And I would not that you should be associates of demons. You cannot drink the cup of our Master Yeshua and the cup of demons, and you cannot be partakers of the table of our Master and at the table of demons. Or would we provoke our Master Yeshua's jealousy? Are we stronger than he? Everything is in my power, but everything is not profitable. Everything is in my power, but everything does not build up. Let no one seek his own things, but also the things of his fellow man. Whatever is sold in the flesh market, you eat without an inquiry on account of conscience. For the earth is Master Yahweh's in its fullness. And if one of the pagans invites you, and you are disposed to go, eat whatever is set before you, without an inquiry on account of conscience. But if anyone will say to you, this meat is derived from sacrifice, don't eat it, for the sake of him who told you, and for conscience' sake. The conscience I speak of is not your own, but his who told you. But why is my freedom judged by the conscience of others? If I, by grace, partake, why am I reproached for that which I give thanks? If therefore you eat, or if you drink, or if you do anything, do all things for the glory of Elohim. You be without offense to the Jews and to the Gentiles, and to the assembly of Elohim, even as I also, in everything, please every man, and do not seek what is profitable to me, but is profitable to many, that they may live. You then be imitators of me, as I am of the Mashiach. Cherish his new love. Be well. May Elohim nod toward thee. Do well. Amen.